What's up, fam? I hope everyone's having a great Wednesday. There's been some really good weather out here in Jersey. I'm waiting for Natalie to log on.
Yeah, I'm looking for you on IG. I can't find you. Hold on. Why is this
All right,
doing this right
guys, it's
now?
Wednesday. We're starting a little later than we normally do. It's usually at 12, but we're
Damn.
coming on at 6. And we're talking about some really good topics today. Um, okay, there you go. I see you down at the bottom, Natalie. Okay, there you go right there. All right. And we're talking about some really good topics today.
Stuff.
Guys, like and share this feed. Share this on your pages. We're on Instagram.
Yes.
We're on Facebook. We're
Finally
on
here.
YouTube. So we're all over the place today. As always. What's up, fam? Guys, like and share this feed. Topics today. Share this on your pages. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're all over the place today.
All over.
As always. Just coming to really talk about some really dope topics today. You're still not on, Natalie. You're not on Instagram.
Oh man, what happened? Okay, request to
We're getting
join.
everything. Still not on Instagram.
All right,
Like
let me see what's
guys,
going
we're some really cool
on.
stuff today with business.
This is
We're going over a few things. Talking about having a high emotional intelligence. Sorry about this. We're getting self-awareness and discernment. But like and share this feed, guys. We're some really cool stuff. Close out live back in here. We're going over a few things. Talking about having a high emotional intelligence as well as self-awareness and discernment when building the business. Just close out live back in here. Again, Natalie. All right, so I'd like to share this feed on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We're going live again, so we're on the live.
I don't know what happened on IG. IG tripping.
That's that connection. We gotta get you connected to.
They've been doing that to me all week, like doing crazy stuff.
Okay,
let me do it again.
Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube. We are going live talking about Wednesday. And the topic of it, there it is. All right. The topic of today is the importance of having a high EQ, which is emotional intelligence, self awareness, as well as I don't know why you're not coming on live.
I don't know what's going on. Why it's not coming on live on IG? IG don't like me this week.
A new iPhone. See, she acts like she's part of the iPhone family, but I don't think she is. You gotta try one more time, fam.
Okay, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna come back in. IG just tripping today. They don't like me. They don't like me. Okay, I'm gonna close it all the way out and then I'm gonna come back in. Listen, my IG has been going crazy this week. I don't know what's going on, but I'm here and we're gonna make this thing work. We ain't come this far not to get on live. All the stuff we've been through. All right. It looks like it's connecting.
There you go. There you go, fam. All right.
Hey! Oh my gosh. Let me fix everything. All right, I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now perfect.
Yay!
All right, guys. So today's been a crazy day. We've been trying to go live
It has.
at 9 a.m. But it just worked out perfectly. Come on later on today. We come live every single Wednesday. This is our 8th Wednesday going live consecutively for Wisdom Wednesday.
2 months.
2 months. Yeah, 2 months. We start off as a conversation.
Yep.
About just talking about purpose and how we want to keep sharing that with so many other people. The whole time, Michael muted on this part. It's okay. All right, so welcome to Wednesday, guys. We are happy to bring you a whole another situation, talking about purpose and clarity, because that's what we need as entrepreneurs, or whatever you do. You need clarity. That's just you need clarity and purpose. So
you do.
That's what we're talking about again today, and we're just happy to bring you a whole another episode of Wednesday.
Yes. And although it's not at noon, it's at 6 p.m. because Chef Jay's going to explain to you why this man never quits and ever gives up. Okay. He's drinking his hot tea. This is one thing I love about working with Chef Jay is he does not give up. And one thing as an entrepreneur, a lot of the times we get to this place where it's hard and it's difficult, and you decide sometimes that you know what, because the road got way much more difficult than
Hmm.
it's supposed to be, I'm gonna quit. There's this quote, I don't know where they got it from. I don't know if it's a biblical quote that God will not give you more than you can bear. And
Oh
so
yeah,
feel like, oh, I can't bear this at this moment, so it's not of God. Let me release and relinquish this thing so I can feel some relief. And it's just like, no, in entrepreneurship, there's always going to be a challenge and a hardship. It's how we get through that period that determines what we're going to see on the other side of it. So I'm glad to be here
that's
with you
good.
today.
I get the point about that too. That's so special is that sometimes we try to rush through things that we're meant to endure, right?
Mm,
Like
ooh,
for example, is this cup, this mug? I forgot who gave me this. I think my client. It says his love endures forever.
that's good.
And that's a really strong thing. And I love how endures is bolded because a lot of times too is I have this side. The thing about endurance is a race, right?
Mm,
Um, for example, is sometimes when it comes to love, it's hard to love somebody forever.
come
You
on.
know, it's hard to have that type of love. But when you think about finishing a race when you're dedicated to your purpose, you got to endure a lot of stuff.
You do.
Sometimes it's not fun. Sometimes but you know what? It's not that it's not fun. It's just your perspective on it. Today
Hmm.
I was talking to one of my business partners who opened up a soup and salad bar in Linden, and we were just talking about just like how we try to help so many people out, but sometimes we feel like people are just doing crazy stuff toward us. But it's just like it doesn't matter what somebody else is doing. It
Hmm.
matter is what is my perspective towards
Hmm.
the situation, because things are always going to naturally come to you, right?
Yeah.
Things are designed, like the Bible says, no weapon formed against me. That means that there are weapons that have your name on it.
Come on.
That come to destroy you. There's weapons that come to. There are obstacles that have come
Yes.
along along your road. But the key part about it is, no weapon that comes against me is ever going to
It's
prosper
gonna
because His
prosper.
love endures
Yes.
forever. And if I know that God loves me so much that I know that His love will not allow me to fail this test.
Mm,
I have so much love from because I'm loved by God. I know that it doesn't matter what else happens to me. I know that because of His love that endures forever, no weapon will ever be formed against me that's going to prosper. I'm always going to be more than a conqueror, no matter what it looks like. Even if it seems like you didn't pass the test that you just had, it doesn't matter because His love endures forever. No weapon formed against you is a real statement that it won't prosper unless you let it. So when you come
hmm.
to the stage when you're really in entrepreneurship, you're really trying to get to the next level, you got to know that I'm built for this. Like no
Woo!
matter what's going on, I'm built to overcome and I'm built to conquer. So no weapon that's formed against me will ever prosper.
I'm gonna need y'all to drop that in the chat. I am built for this.
Yeah,
Listen, and that's why it's so important to have a high EQ. We talk about having a high IQ and knowing a lot of things and having knowledge and information and being able to discern the truth from the lie. But you have to have that tenacity on the inside of you to endure the things that
that's
are going
good.
to come. And the word you used was a test. A lot of the times we look at these obstacles and these challenges as something that's coming to take us out. Like you
Yeah.
said, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So we're looking at these thinking that these weapons are coming to destroy me. And
Hmm.
it's if you don't have discernment, you will
That's
look
good.
at your test and think that your test is a weapon. As a teacher, we don't test kids so that we can see how many people fail. We test them so that they can know the information so that they can pass and go to the next level.
That's
We're
good.
not testing them to keep them behind. And we're looking at these tests as though they're weapons used against us to keep us behind. But if we are able to endure and realize that we are built for this thing, then we're able to move to the next level after we pass the test. It's not always to take you out. It's not always coming as an attack. It's coming as a trial to
Yeah,
try what's already on the
that's
inside
good.
of you. And now you need to stand and rise to the occasion and say, you know what? I got a sore throat, but I'm gonna postpone this thing from 12 to 6 p.m., drink
Listen,
my tea, take my medicine, and I'm gonna show up because what I got people need. I'll
and it's
talk
so
about you
funny
today.
because so Natalie, so normally we go live at 12, but the kids are home, just got out of school, so Natalie, let's go live at 9. Like I was feeling like trash earlier today, and that's like, well,
Hmm.
let's see how you feel later. I said, listen, I'm gonna drink my tea. We going live. Like the thing about it too is like consistency is the key to success. Some
Woo,
people wonder why they fail or they never reach the goal. Oh,
come on.
you hear, oh, that didn't work for me. It's not that it didn't work for me. You didn't work it long enough. it's like, for example, is for everything there's a season. So if I'm planting certain vegetables or fruit, I have to know how long it takes to really work it. So, for example, if you just started, like I remember when I used to really focus on just trading cryptocurrency and help people learn crypto, they would give up after like the first like two. This boy never watched any of the videos. So I'm like, how do you expect to learn cryptocurrency if you like? And I'm like, fam, you a teacher, you went through college,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like you know that you don't get stuff the first day, but it's like a rubber band. The more you keep pulling at it, the elasticity starts to really break down. But you have to start somewhere, but if you keep saying, "Oh man, it ain't gonna work for me," I mean,
Mm-hmm.
business like business opportunities I would have lost by
Come
saying, "Oh,
on.
it ain't for me." I'm still learning stuff. Like that's why I'm trying to like knock this cold out because I'm like, listen, I have productivity stuff to do. So let me take today to rest because I know I'm meant to conquer whatever I put my mind to do.
That's so good. And you said you would have lost out on so many opportunities if you did not endure. Imagine all the opportunities that we actually lost out on because we didn't endure. How many connections because we said, you know what, it's getting too difficult. I'm just gonna not answer the phone or not deal with this situation or not move forward because I want the release. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. I tell the story all the time about having my kids. I had some with the epidural and some without. When I had them with the epidural, I wasn't able to feel the pain in the moment, but my recovery time was a lot longer than when I didn't have the epidural. When I went all natural, the pain was intense. It was crazy. And I haven't had, those long childbirths. My longest was about 5 hours, but the pain was so intense that I thought I was going to die.
Wow.
That's how intense the pain was. But once I gave birth and I felt that relief, I was able to recover quickly because what the doctor said to me when I was giving birth naturally, lean into the pain. So
Hmm.
when the pain came, when the contractions came, instead of fighting against it, I leaned into it. As an
That's good.
entrepreneur, one thing we have to realize is
Really
when
good.
those moments come, we don't fight against it. We don't resist it. We have to lean into that thing. What is it that's required of me in this moment so I can rise to the occasion and be the person that this test is trying to show me that I need to be? Who
Yeah.
do I need to be? Who do I need to show up as? When we first go live, and Chef Jay knows this, you don't go live and be like, oh, I'm the best speaker in the world. No, it's
Oh
that
yeah.
consistency that you do. And sometimes, like it happened today, the IG just didn't want to work. How many
Yeah.
times did we try to log in? But somebody will look at that and say, you know what? I've tried 3 times. I'm done. It's not meant for me. Instead of,
That's
how
good.
can I pursue this thing and pass this test? I'm going to keep going live until it recognizes that I'm here and you can't do nothing about it. You're not
That's
going to stop
good.
me from moving forward. That's the mindset you have to have. That's what we're talking about by having a high EQ, being self aware, that everything is not about stopping you in your tracks. Everything is not coming as an attack against you, but some things are coming to pull the greater person that's
Yeah,
hidden on the
that's good.
inside.
It's so funny you say that, and I love talking to Natalie because we always have this is how we talk outside of being
All
on
the
social
time.
media. First off, but I think that's kind of the biggest thing I've learned, is about emotional intelligence. And the thing I love is I got that at an early age, especially like when I started teaching high school kids, because I started teaching at 23. So for me, it was just like a lot of the stuff I would see they go through is because they were never exposed to emotional intelligence, right?
Hmm.
So when I go through certain things in my life, right, I really have to sit and think about it because there are certain things that really just kind of really challenge me when I
Yeah.
feel like, yo, Josh, you've been through this before, so what do you have to do? And I go back to the basics before I react, and I had to learn this because I do have I'm being delivered from having a nasty mouth, where like I'm the type of person where and I'm a Leo, so it's like we will disrespect somebody in the most calmest tone. But I had to realize too is I'm like, you know what, Josh, even when somebody wants to argue, I'm like, I'm never going to get another June 1st,
Come on now.
2022. So am I going to choose to exert this energy in a place that doesn't deserve that? Or
Come
I'm going to
on.
use emotional intelligence to think about, wait, Josh, what's the goal? Because if you say this, it may lead you to this.
Hmm.
Because I learned to be so careful with my words because remember, your words take on form. All right, there's life and death in the power of your tongue. So whatever you speak, you can either give something life or you can give something death. So I
Yes.
chose, when it comes to emotional intelligence, whatever I do to react, I have to be so careful about what words I use, because when I speak that over somebody, let's say somebody's really trying you, right? Because people can
Mm-hmm.
try you. I can say something that will give you life or something that will bring death to you. So I
Yes.
have to be mindful of my words, because when I'm speaking things, I have to realize, hold on, Josh, you're throwing seeds out there. So when I'm throwing these seeds, I have to
Yes.
be so sure that what I speak is going to bring life even to my enemies. Because there's certain people who don't like you because of the gift that you have. It has nothing to do with you. Some people just don't
Nothing
like
to
you
do
because
with
you're
you.
operating your gift. Don't have nothing to do with you. Some people don't like. I know there's certain people who like they criticize all my stuff on social media. I'm like, man, one, I didn't know I was important to you. Here I am
Yes.
trying to keep up with the social media people and trying to just keep my posts
Oh
authentic.
gosh.
And I'm like, fam, like, you making comment. I'm like, fam, I ain't even mad at you. I just want to show you love, because the thing about it is the reason why you're like that is because you don't have clarity and purpose to really operate
Mm-hmm.
in your giftings. That's why you're upset and mad over there. Don't got nothing to do with
Yes.
me.
Nothing to do with you. I love how you said that they are not jealous of you as a person or envious of you, but it's the gifting. And we have to realize that this is why recognizing who you are and having accurate self perception is
Mhm.
so important, because people will either be attracted or repelled by your gift, the way that you operate. And because they may not necessarily be have a high IQ or really understand what they're feeling, they will say things like, I want to be your friend, or I want to be connected to you. But they don't want to be connected to you. They want to be connected to your gift. They want
Yeah,
to what's the word, pervert your gifting because what you carry. And so you have to understand and be able to discern as well, not just having emotional intelligence, but have discernment to know
yeah,
what
that's
people
good.
I should build with, what people should just be my clients and my customers, who should I connect with, because everybody is not for you in the same manner that you think they should be.
That's good.
Everybody can't build with me. There was a season when I started my coaching career that I wasn't getting any
Come
clients.
on, coaching
But what
career.
I was getting people to help build a vision, and I didn't understand.
Yeah,
And slowly God really had to open up my eyes and give me clarity on those things, because I was trying to put my vision helpers, or the ones that were moving my vision, into the category of client and customer. And
yeah,
they were not those. And I was expecting something out of them that they didn't have the capacity to give me. And so now that I am, seeing a lot clearer, now that I have a lot more discernment than I did when I first began, there are people that can't disappoint me in certain ways. Certain people, when
that's
they
so
say
good.
no to me, it's like, yes, that's okay. I need that no, because let me tell you real quick before I'm done with this topic. I went to Clubhouse and I was in a room. I was supposed to be helping a friend with something, and I'm in the room and I got so caught up in what everybody was saying, and I'm getting and joining and doing all this stuff. And then somebody sent me a message an hour later. What were you doing in that room? And I was like, Holy Spirit, what? You sent me a text, and then I look at the name and I was like, did the Holy Spirit tell you to send me this? Did God tell you to send me this? Because I was so shook up, because she was like, this, this is a good place for you, but this is not for you to be
Yeah,
fed. This is just for something that you can see and say, okay, this is some place that I'm going towards, but you're not supposed to be sitting in the audience in this seat. You're not supposed to be in this particular room. And I need you to get out, because you have to remember who you are. Listen, you got to know who you are, because you will get
yeah.
caught up. Everything
You know,
out there is not good for you. And it may sound
that's
good.
good.
Like for me, it sounded good. It sounded like things that I said. I was in a moment where I was like, oh gosh, I needed this. But it wasn't for me to stay there. It just come in, get what you got, and move out. But that's why discernment is so
That's good.
important. Everybody connected to you is not going to be able to go with you to the next level.
That's really good. You say that. That's really good. You say that because
Oh man, I can't hear you.
on
Oh,
so many levels. No, I'm sorry. Somebody was calling me.
calling you.
When I said I was gonna be on live. Anyway, so the thing about that part that's so disrespectful. The disrespect. No, no, but I think the thing that
Disrespectful.
you said a lot of good points too, and going back to what you said about so like the Bible talks about the presence of God, right? There's the inner court, well, the outer court, the inner court,
Hmm.
the holy, right? And I think
Ooh, let's go.
there's different levels that people are in your life. Some people deserve
Mhm.
a bill, and some people deserve an invitation. Like when it goes back to who's your client, who's your friend, and every season is very, very different. And I think too, sometimes we put people on a pedestal because let's say you and I both have this conversation about coaching, right? Yo, Natalie, I want to be a coach. Oh, Jay, I'm thinking about the same
Mhm.
thing as being a coach. It may be for us just to talk about that at that moment. It may mean that we need to go to business together. It may mean that we may do co-coaching. But I think too is as you start to identify
Mhm. Mhm.
weaknesses, you start to categorize what they're good at and what they're not good at. Like once you, it's so easy to put people on a pedestal. It's very, very easy because you think that they're supposed to be with you
It
through
is.
every single process. But
Mm.
some
Come
processes
on.
for your friends to go with. There's some friends who are good to hang out with. There's certain friends who are good to talk about family. Like I can't relate to Natalie about being a parent. You got what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Even though I mentor kids, she has a certain level of parenting that I
Come
have
on,
nothing about.
Josh.
We could talk about it, but I may be not be the friend she talk about what goes wrong with kids. Now even though I
Mhm.
mentor boys, that might not be our conversation. There's certain conversations Natalie may not be able to have with me. It's because we're gifted to operate in giftings together in certain areas. Every area is not meant for you to bring everybody to, and it's not a bad thing. Okay, just know
Not
that
a
when
bad
you start
thing.
to think about certain projects, when inviting certain people on, am I supposed to be in this friend? Am I supposed to be in this room with this friend?
Mm.
Am I supposed to bring you along with me on this part of the journey? And sometimes it's no. Sometimes you're meant to be by yourself to focus on what you have to do, and then you can bring somebody else on. There's sometimes you
Wow.
have to learn certain things for yourself. So that's why you're like where your friends do whatever it is, because sometimes your friends will hinder you from where you need to be. Family will hinder you, and sometimes they have to see, like Down Thomas. Some people can't hear the word; they have to
Mhm.
see everything alive. I'm a person where I can see darkness and start speaking light to every area. No, this should go
Mhm.
here,
Mhm.
but that's
Mhm.
not everybody I'm connected to. Some people have to see me turn a light switch on for them to get
Come
everything
on,
for them to
Josh.
come on board. So now I realize in my life now, I know what friends I can talk to and what families I can talk to about vision with. And I know which ones that I could talk to about walking out to actually plan it because now they see the vision. But every's not in it. And that's when it comes to being, there's two things. Now we talk about discernment and also talking about self awareness. When you are self aware, discernment comes naturally to you. Like, for
Mhm.
example, is every single day I like to analyze my day. I go over what went well, what could have went better. I try to read, like I read one of this book right here a lot, A Joy Life by Dr. Sasha Fierce, one of my mentors. I love that she talks about the daily stuff, the daily process, the daily goals, the daily accomplishments, because sometimes you have to look at the small and then
Mhm.
build it up. Because Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither
Not
was
at all.
McDonald's built in a day. Like it took the
Come
McDonald's brothers
on.
so many times to build that fast food system that so many others like Taco Bell and all those other places they came to see their setup. Like, how are you guys doing this fast food? So don't expect things to take all day, but while some things are going to take a process. So when you're working on that process, give yourself grace, but take every day to really start renewing your mind. Like, you know what, today I could have did X, Y, and Z better, but I did do A, B, and C well. So let me celebrate myself today, and let me see what I can do
Mhm.
better tomorrow and challenge myself. But when it comes to everyday life, you have to become self-aware by using your emotional intelligence.
Listen, you said so much good stuff there. Y'all have to put this in the chat, y'all, for real. He said, some people deserve a bill while others deserve an invitation.
I'm big on that.
I love that. I love that. And you know what I was doing? I was giving everybody an invitation and I kept forgetting some people deserve a bill. You cannot be close to me. I had to tell someone recently, hey, we can't be friends. I don't have the capacity to be
Mhm.
your friend in this season because, no, to be honest,
I
I'm
know,
not
but
going
it's
to be
funny
a good
because that's my
friend.
kind of conversation.
And it was hard for me. I've never had that conversation before with someone, but I'm like, I'm not showing up the way that a friend would show up. I have to put my friends on notice now to be like, listen, I'm in a season where you're not going to see me for a while because I'm in this building season. I hope that's okay with you, but I got to really focus on my family and the business. So now me adding a new friendship into this thing, I'm like, I don't have it. I don't have it to show up for you. I said, I can show up for you. Thank you, Halima, for putting that in the chat. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. But I'm like, I can show up for you in this capacity. This is the way that I can show up. If you're willing to accept this, then go ahead and schedule a call. But that's all I have in the moment. You know what I mean? And then you talked about something that was so good with self-awareness, and it's accountability. We need to be able to hold ourselves accountable. We are always looking for other people to hold us accountable. When we want to work out, we want to get a workout partner. I'm not saying nothing wrong with that. When you want to start a business, you want to start a business with your friend. When you want to start reading a book, you want to go and read the book with the book club. But when are you going to hold yourself accountable to yourself? Now, spam trying to call me. But we have to start holding ourselves accountable to ourselves. And accountability, you said it is rewards. When we do well, when we say, this is what I want to accomplish by this time, and we do so, we have to reward ourselves. We're creatures of habit. We love rewards. I don't care how old you are. You could be 95 or you could be 5. You love rewards, but you got to be able to punish yourself as well. And I'm not talking about spanking yourself on the butt. I don't do that kinky stuff. But I'm talking about saying,
what?
I'm saying if you,
relax now, okay?
You're so silly. If you like Starbucks every week and you reward yourself with Starbucks, when you don't come through for yourself, you need to not drink any Starbucks. Hey, you know what? For 2 weeks, I'm not going to drink Starbucks because I didn't come through for myself. For 2 weeks, I'm going to go to the gym an extra 30 minutes because I didn't come through for myself. For 2 weeks, I'm going to do whatever it is. You got to put the rewards and the punishments in place. And y'all know, y'all do that with y'all kids. Y'all don't call it punishment these days because punishment has a negative connotation, consequences, whatever it is you want to call it. But the fact of the matter is, how do you hold yourself accountable for coming through or not coming through on your promise? When you set those systems up, going back to systems from 2 weeks ago, you'll see your business begin to flourish like never before, because people are going to see that you are a person of your word with your business. So if you can be trusted by yourself with your business, I can trust you with my business as well.
And that's let me drink a little tea. Hold on, that was good. Hold on. I got a little bit to say about that. That was good. But what you're saying is so true, because what happens too is that I think we're in such a society that consequences is like out the window. Especially if you grew up in old school church versus new school church. God loves you. It's no type of thing where we talk about the consequences for our actions. You got to think for every action there's an action. So, for example, is I start to think about what you said about trust, right?
Mm-hmm.
We will put, as entrepreneurs, sometimes we will have faith in other people's stuff more than our own.
Come on.
And we'll see other people's stuff as more valuable than ourselves. And I think the first step to really being an entrepreneur is to really have self-worth. Because when you start developing self-worth, you start to trust yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you value yourself. And what I realized about really having value is the reason why I know I give a good product to my clients is because, one, I really take pride and I trust myself with the work I produce.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I can let my mentees do a catering job without me being there is because I know they have a certain trust in me that they want to make sure right, because they know they want to make sure that chef is satisfied with the work.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start becoming satisfied with yourself and happy with yourself, your whole work ethic changes.
Come on.
Like, one thing I used to hate about going to certain jobs, when people complain at a job, I'm like, man, would you just shut up? Like, if you don't like it, go get another job. Like, for me, if I don't, and people know me, if I don't like the job, I'm out. Because I know for a fact that nothing will be able to impact my happiness. I would rather drive Uber and Lyft and be happy than go to a job that's paying me. I ain't gonna say, well, because I just left the job actually, but I'll go leave and be happy than stay where I'm not happy, because you don't realize that your health is connected to your happiness. Your health,
Mm.
it's so funny. Shamar said, "Oh, we know, yeah,
Oh, we know.
I'll leave." Because when you start to really pride yourself, like I remember Creflo, my pastor priest years ago, he said, "So many of you guys in a second, in a 1 second at that, so many, when he preached his message a long time ago, and he said, stop praying about everything else. If you don't know God loves you, stop praying for a second, just meditate on His love for you." And
Mm-hmm.
what I learned is that as an entrepreneur, you will be burnt out if you don't love yourself first,
Come on.
because you will be so productive with with being busy opposed to making smart moves that are fruitful. There's some things in my business that I was doing chasing money, but not chasing my purpose,
Mm.
because I had to become in love with myself to know I have purpose. When you know you have purpose and you start to value, yo, he is funny.
They coming for you.
Shamar just said about me that I will leave the job and go on vacation the
And
next
go on
day.
vacation the next day. I'm
Listen,
out.
but it's the truth though. My old boss actually blocked me on Instagram because after I quit, I went on vacation the next day. Some people can't stand to see you happy. Listen, some people cannot just stand to see you happy. So it's not. I've just learned that. Like I have to be happy. But when you experience real happiness and real genuine love for yourself, everything you do has to have purpose. Like there are
Mm-hmm.
certain people I cannot be connected to because I see how they value themselves, and because I know you value yourself on that level, I can never be around you, because the self worth will allow you to always think about, is this action going to contribute to my self worth? Or is it going to diminish me and take me back to where I don't want to go? And once I started realizing that, I don't even take certain gigs, I don't take certain opportunities. I don't care how bad I need the money. Because for me, it's like, is this going to contribute to where God wants me to be in life? And if it does
Mm.
not, listen, I'll be out and I'll be on vacation, like Shamar said. Like that's the vibe for me.
The
That will
very next day.
somebody. You put a job on your vacation the next day, next hour, you
The
and that
very next
thing.
day.
Yeah.
Halima said it's the self-worth for me. Me too, sis. I love that. I really do love that. And what Chef Jay, what you really said, I'm gonna sum it up, is purpose is more valuable than money.
Yeah.
And instead of chasing money, what we should be chasing is purpose, because when you have access to your purpose, you will get the money that's required to fulfill that purpose. Because
It's a
let's be
strategy.
honest, yes, nobody can pay me what I'm worth. I am what I'm worth. Christ died for on the cross. That is,
Hey,
there is
Victor.
no amount of money in the world that can replicate that one act right there. So you can't pay me what I'm worth. But what I'm putting my value on right now, the money that I'm saying that you're going to pay to be in my presence and have access to me, that's it, until I raise my prices and change it. But you have to understand who you are on the inside doesn't match the money or the amount that you're putting on the outside, or even the amount that you're chasing after. That's
Yeah.
why when you recognize who you are, when you recognize the value that you carry, you no longer chase money, as Jay said, it starts chasing you. Look, money is going to be required when you have a huge purpose. When you are fulfilling purpose, money is going to be required. But guess where the money resides? Right here. It's the ideas that
Good.
are going to create the wealth that you need. Listen, Zoom started in the mind of the visionary.
Yeah.
The internet started in the mind of the visionary. The laptop started in the mind of the visionary. Listen, what we sitting on right now started in somebody else's mind. It was a thought in the mind of the visionary before it actually became a reality. And everybody and their mama buys sofas. Every single person buys a sofa. There's no person in the world that probably don't buy a sofa or a bed or something to sit on or a chair. But it started in the mind of the visionary. And you have to realize that what you have right here is more valuable than the money. Because I can have a couch that costs $5 or a couch that costs $5,000. Whichever one you decide that you want to purchase or buy or afford or like or want or whatever it is, but it starts in your mind.
You know,
We, the
good.
people, are more valuable than the things that we're trying to acquire.
That's good what you said that, because you know what? The reason why I stopped stressing over things or I stopped chasing money is because, even to, like, for example, is today I was not feeling that good. I know I wanted to go out and make some extra money, but I said, Josh, all the access you need to money is inside your mind. You don't
Yep.
have to even leave your home to access the resources.
Come
I think
on.
sometimes when you realize that, God has made us to be a resource. I love the fact that when somebody asks me something, people come to me to ask me stuff because they know if I don't have the answer, I know where they can get an answer from.
Come on.
You
That's a
know,
coach right there.
it is, and in life we're designed to be a resource. And I think so many people, if you realize that you're a resource, you start to move differently because
Mm-hmm.
resources are valuable.
Yes.
Like Google is valuable because anything you need to know, you can say, "Hey Siri, X, Y, and Z," and it'll pop up with the answer. I can Google something. Even like today, I had to go up the urban. I had to Google the Urban Dictionary. I needed to know something that was urban.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're a resource, you add value to people. So when you know that you produce value, you move differently. And when I think about today, I'm like, you know what? Now I'm gonna take today to rest. I need to get my body right. I need to get my mind right. And I'm like, man, but you need to make X, Y, and Z today. I'm like, I'm gonna make it somewhere or another. But the resources in
Mm-hmm.
my mind, so you know what I did? I created my reels and my content because I know that for
Good.
me, the viewers of my posts brings in
Mm-hmm.
dollar signs. When
Mm-hmm.
people see my posts, they will I'll at least get about 2 or 3 inquiries every time I
Mm-hmm.
post something. So I could go out and rack my brain, but Josh, the resource in your mind, and the more you start to appreciate um, your mind, that's why I said the mind is terrible thing to waste.
Mm-hmm.
You can produce
Yes.
anything you want to do. You got to think
Anything
like
you
how
want.
Natalie said, the chair that she's sitting on, chair that we're sitting on, like that was in somebody's mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why there's nothing new underneath the sun. So if you really
Nothing.
just sit, relax, and you just start to focus and meditate on one, the love of God for you, you start to meditate on your purpose, you start to focus, things you start to drop into your spirit.
Listen.
Especially this month of June, it seemed like I mean this last month of May and April, it seemed like all hell was breaking loose.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about
Listen.
yeah, it seemed like everything was going haywire. But
Yes.
the thing about it is, I look at the month of June. First of June, we're having a conference called the Boss Up Boot Camp, which you
Come
guys need to
on.
keep the link to. Like I know that's going to be something big. I'm doing a Juneteenth situation. I just opened up a venue with one of my friends, and we opened up a Super Salad Bar, another one of my friends, and now we're opening up another venue in July. So I'm like, the stuff is breaking loose because I know that there's a harvest that I'm about to reap.
Come
So
on.
to be uncomfortable sometimes to get to where you need to go. But during your uncomfortability, you start to really have the self awareness and saying, "Hey, I know this is bothering me right now, but Josh, through all the storm, right, through all the turbulence in the plane still has a destination. No matter which way it's rocking, it still has a destination. So that's what I
Mm-hmm.
started doing is let me focus on my purpose. Let me focus on God. What do you want me to get out of this turbulence? Because there's
Woo!
always something to get out of all of your hardship. Every hardship, there's something for you to get. So sometimes you have to be so still to listen that you will ignore all the confusion that's trying to really, really combat your day to day life.
Um, I have nothing. You just you can't do stuff like that because I'm like, you said, what do you want me to get out of this turbulence? And I have to look that up. Y'all know when I'm a little unsure about something, the first thing I do is I go to the dictionary and I need to research what that word means because that was powerful right there. When it comes to turbulence, it says a violent or unsteady movement of air or water or of some other
You pause,
fluid.
Natalie.
Can you hear me?
Say it one time. You pause on Instagram.
Violent turbulence means violent or unsteady movement of air or water or of some other fluid, conflict or confusion. And y'all know I'm all about
Oh,
coming
that's
for
good.
confusion's head. But I love that you said, what can I get out of this turbulence? So it seems like it's violent and it's unsteady. My God, like you said, May was a difficult month for a lot of us. For
Yeah.
me, starting my whole clarity business, shifting from mom CEO to now the clarity coach, from January to March, April, I have seen a steady increase, 4 figures every month. And May was the first time that I did not see that increase. And I'm like, Lord, what's going on? I had way more initial consultations, way more prophetic consultations, but I didn't see any paid consultations in May. And I'm like, what is going on? And somebody said to me, don't worry, you are planting seeds for
Yeah.
a harvest. And when you just said what you said, oh my goodness, what did I need to pull out in that turbulence? What I needed to pull out was, look, your business needs to go to another level. Your marketing needs to go to another
Mm-hmm.
level. You need to be more articulate when you are expressing your clarity. And now you need to open up to more coaching sessions. So like you were saying, all the things that were birthed out of that month, for me it was pretty much the same thing, but I wasn't seeing it. Out of that month I was able to create my email funnel, and I didn't have a good email system at all with my email marketing. I was actually able to sit down with a marketing a marketing specialist, and she walked me through the process of creating my email funnels for different clientele. So I had to pause on receiving so much clients and actually put some systems in place in the business. But I was looking at it as, I'm not making money, instead of, now I have more time
Yeah.
to build a better system, because guess what's going to happen in June? I'm going to get way more clients.
Mm-hmm.
How can what I have, if my net is too small? Come on, Jesus. I'm
That's
sorry.
it.
If my net is too small and I'm catching a whole lot of fish, what's gonna happen is it's gonna break. I need a bigger net. And you have to pause in order to get bigger, in order to mend the nets. There's a part in the Bible when Peter and the disciples, they were fishing all night and they pulled their nets out to mend it. Listen, the nets break when you have a lot of fish in it. And sometimes we don't take those moments when there's a whole lot of chaos going on, where there's a whole lot of shaking, to say,
Yeah.
where do I need to mend my nets? Where
That's
does the
good.
business need to get better and stronger, so that when I have more clients, so when I scale, I'm not overwhelmed and overrun by the abundance? Because guess what? Just because I didn't see 4 figures in May does not mean that I'm not going to be having abundance. God already told me that. That's a
Yeah.
given. I'm going to be a 6-figure earner by the end of the year. I'm going to be a millionaire by the end of 3 years. Are you prepared to hold the $1 million? Are you prepared to hold 6 figures? And I wasn't, but I am now.
That's a good thing you said, because um, that goes back to when I started doing private dining. It took me 3 years. The idea was dropped in 2013, but I didn't operate it until 2017, which is
Mm,
like, that's 4 years, right?
yeah.
So in your waiting season, what are you doing to be prepared?
Yes.
When you're in your waiting season, what are you doing to welcome what's freely yours?
Yes.
Our purpose has a harvest attached to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your purpose has resources attached to it, right?
Whew.
But the thing about it is, when you don't operate in it, in your purpose, and when you're not really fully ready to prepare in your waiting season, you don't have enough to receive when it's time to get big.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many people who get famous overnight. Think about, like, if somebody get famous on
Yes.
Instagram, on social media. Next, you hear some of them. Where are they now? When BT do, especially, where are they now? Some of them are back broke again,
Yes.
because in your waiting season, you did not prepare to receive the abundance that was
Mm-hmm.
designed for you already, because you started operating in your gift. So for me, it's a few things that I do. I learned about how to trade cryptocurrency. Another thing I did was I opened up a few business accounts. I opened up a few bank accounts. The
Mm-hmm.
reason why, I needed somewhere to put the storehouse, I needed somewhere to put the
Yes.
money
Yep.
in that I'm going to receive. Even two, there's certain things that's meant for you. So when you know that, okay, so I already know that whenever I operate my gift and my purpose, I'll have everything I need to be successful. But the thing about it is, you have to take time to prepare.
Yeah,
If
you
I would have
do.
never brought stuff every pay period for those 4 years, when it was time for me to do private dining, I would have been scrambling around for the stuff that's more
Come
expensive.
on.
But What happens is
Yes.
as you start to learn how to wait and be patient and to
Mm,
say, hey, through my turbulence, God, what am I supposed to get out of this? Through this turbulence, what am I supposed to learn?
I love
What
that.
am I supposed to, who am I supposed to talk to? When I started teaching, it's crazy because that was in, I had to speak at a school I went to as a student. They wanted me to come in just like to talk to the kids about culinary. That was in May or March. I was so passionate about. I'm like, yo, I need to be a teacher. I need to not wait to do this. So I spoke to the supervisor. What do I need to to teach? So you gotta get X, Y, and Z. But she didn't know everything, so I had to Google stuff. I had to call the state. So what happened was I never waited. I said, let
Hmm.
me get my teacher certification now. Let me just get it. I had to press on myself. Then next in December, one of the teachers passed away. And the first person they called, they said, "Hey, Josh, remember back
Wow.
in March you were talking about that you can get your teacher cert. Do you have it yet?" I said, "Yeah, it's so crazy. They said they'll send it in a few weeks." They said, "Oh, do you want to be a sub instead?" I said, "No, I'll wait for my teacher cert because there was a whole different price bracket. That was
Yes.
like maybe like $90 a day versus about 400 to 500 a day."
Yep.
So, but the crazy part about it is because I prepared in a season where it seemed
Come
like
on.
it was nobody hiring for a teacher, I had my credentials. So when I stepped in right in the nick of time of what I needed. So it's so important to, in your waiting season, don't get offended, don't get distraught, don't be upset. Just say, what am I supposed to, in this turbulence or in this waiting period, what am I supposed to do right
What am I
now
supposed to get?
that's going to prepare me for my future? So sometimes while you're really trying to get the business, like nobody's buying your business stuff, that's because you might need a clarity coach or a purpose coach.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so some things
Yes.
will come because you don't have the right technique. There are certain techniques that you'll learn that'll change the whole game for. There's certain services
Woo.
that you don't even know you're supposed to have until you get a coach. And the coach will lead you in the way that you really should be going. It'll help you really build and bring your life to the next level.
I'm gonna add something to that because you listen. I'm getting mad on this live right now because you just speaking like you don't have the right technique, and I'm gonna add and the right language. When
That's
you
good.
speak into the atmosphere, people hear wah, 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 because you're not self aware. Listen, we've been through it. We've been there before. And you
Mm-hmm.
want to be connected to people who've been there and who've done that and who's made the mistakes. Listen, I was speaking on platforms. I was everywhere. And all people heard was want, 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 want when it comes to me making my offer. I was doing good and eloquent and wonderful and getting them motivated. But when it was time to actually seal the deal, I was like, y'all don't want me because there's somebody out there that's better because I don't really know what I'm doing. I can motivate, but I can't actually help you build your business. And what I had to do is in the season where I had no clients, listen, I told y'all for a year, or maybe that's Clubhouse. Well, let me let y'all know for a year. 2021, I started my business in January. By the end of 2021, in December, I had only made about a little over $1,000 in my business. Yes, I had a full-time job, but only $1,000 in my business. And I'm speaking on different platforms. I'm in Clubhouse hosting rooms for other people. Something was wrong. And I had to become self-aware enough to know the problem is not the marketplace. It is not that people hate me. It's not that, they just don't want to support me. Something was wrong with my messaging. Something was wrong with my offer. And I had to get a coach to help me gain the clarity that I needed. Y'all, I
That's
had to
good.
shut the business down. I had to dig deep. I had to go through my own. I talk about my C3 clarity framework, but that emerged out of me going through the process myself and saying, hey, Natalie, who are you? What is your role and your position in the marketplace? What is your company all about? What's your mission, your vision, your purpose? Who are your clientele? Who are you speaking to? Why are you speaking to these people? What are you passionate about?
Yep.
What's their language? How can you go into a place and the marketplace? Y'all got to know people in the marketplace got their own language. You
That's
can't
true.
go in the marketplace speaking Spanish when everybody else speaks English, or you can't go to France. Everybody in France speaks, French, and you out here speaking Chinese. You're going to need a translator. That's where the coach comes in. The
That's good.
coach who has been immersed in the culture, who has been immersed in the marketplace, like Chef Jay and myself, we understand the language. We understand how the people think in the marketplace. We understand what words are going to draw them in and what words are actually going to repel them. So you need to be connected. And the one thing that we love is to see people do well. We don't
Yeah.
care about, we do like money. Come on, money makes everything easier. But we're not here to take your money. We're here to propel you into purpose.
Yes, good.
That's what we're here to do. We don't do coaching because it's lucrative and we make a lot of money. We do coaching because it's part of our purpose. We are
Yeah.
purposed to do this thing. He's purposed for purpose. I'm purposed for clarity. So when we sit in these positions, we automatically do our thing because it's naturally who we are. And when you connect with us, you're going to find out what was naturally who you are. But on top of that, you don't stop there. We help you fine tune that thing. Y'all know how many books we read? I read so many books. I have like 6 right here on vision and clarity, vivid vision, getting clarity, the visionary leader, getting clarity, 17 reasons why business failed, getting clarity,
That's
relational
good.
intelligence, getting clarity. So you don't stop once you recognize what you're good at. You keep fine tuning that thing because what we're about is being the best, being the
Yeah,
best. I'm not
that's
competing with
true.
nobody, but I'm just saying I'm going to be the best. Like I'm going to consistently
Hmm.
fine tune and refine this gift so that when I
Hmm.
show up, you get in more value in less time.
That's good that you said it because it definitely is about that. It is about finding clarity and finding your purpose. So even too, just like if you're really like, just some people sometimes you don't even realize that you need certain things. Like there's certain things that
Hmm.
if I'm like, especially when I went to my mentor, Dr. Sasha, like I was just there. I knew I needed something, but I
Yes.
didn't know what it was, right? But then I told her what I was going through, and then she, within like 20 minutes, told me what I needed for a lifetime to make a certain amount of money that would bring me a lot of money and just fulfillment. So, if you guys are really just looking to really grow to the next level, like coaching is where it's at. I
Yeah.
think too, the best part about living and like learning, I find the journey of entrepreneurship fun to me.
Hmm.
It's fun because every single day there's a different situation.
Yeah.
But it's also amazing how you can really kind of find the triumph part about it. Every situation isn't going to break you. It's designed
Woo.
to really make you stronger. So when you're really going through the point of really learning how to advance in life and grow as an entrepreneur and as a visionary leader, you're gonna have obstacles, but obstacles are coming to make you stronger. You don't have to stress out about everything. Just trust the fact that, hey, you know what? I know the situation is very challenging, but I was built to be an overcomer. I was built
Hmm.
to live in my purpose authentically and enjoy life every single day. Life is about fulfillment. And the thing I love about doing being a business owner is because I'm fulfilled every single day by operating my God given purpose. So if
That's
you're really
good.
looking to really develop, in your business or other areas of
That's good.
expertise, like listen, come coach with us. So you can click the link in our bio to coach. But also too, we're gonna wrap up. We're having the Boss Up Boot Camp
Boot camp.
in Jersey City. So it's super dope because the reason why I created this event, this was in my mind about like 2 years ago during when the pandemic first started. I wanted to help a lot of my friends out who are thinking about starting a business because you see a lot of businesses out there that they ain't raggedy. I'm trying to get another word besides
You
raggedy.
said they raggedy?
Not raggedy, but sometimes especially black owned business, we're so
Mediocre.
yeah,
Mediocre.
that's a good word. We're so creative, but there's certain things, there's certain loose ends that we can fine tune. Like even with me, there's certain things I can fine tune.
Yeah.
But I think
Hmm.
too, when you create a community of people who are striving to go to the next level, it makes it so much easier. So I created this platform, this conference called the Boss Up Boot Camp. I'm having speakers from Natalie's gonna be one of the speakers. She's talking about clarity and purpose. Halima on live, she's talking about business coaching. I
Come on,
also have
Halima.
Crystal. She's gonna be talking about social media. This girl grew her
Hmm.
following from 0 to 22,000 within a matter of I think less than a year.
Wow.
And she doesn't. She started all because I'm not gonna say all her business, but she started something really dope because of the loss of her sister. I also have
Mm-hmm.
Louis Spears going to teach about how to create, how to grow and expand your business by creating mentees. Me and him do the same thing with that. We
Wow.
hire mentees, but now we train them so well that now they actually operate our business. When he was running for mayor, it's going to be June 18th,
Yep.
and then the day party brunch is going to be the 19th. I also have on there. Someone else. Oh, Tashandra is going to talk about processing and systems. There are so many things that would go better with our business if we have the proper processes and systems in place. For me, for the longest, I never registered my business because I didn't even know certain things. I didn't even know certain things that I should know. So, she's going to put on processing the system, and then I'm going to talk about purpose, how to really tap into your purpose, identifying your gifts to tap into your purpose to generate profit. And then one of my clients, a super business coach, her book is right here, Tiana Von Johnson. She's going to be, she's giving, oh man, she is going to be dope. She's
Amazing.
going to do a multi-million dollar, million dollar
Mastermind.
mastermind with us for an hour. So like I'm so excited. Also Shani as well too. She's opened up two business, actually three businesses. Like she's gonna talk about expansion, but I really definitely people be because Tiana's gonna really take it home and just really talk more about creating that $1 million mindset. Be a first millionaire. I'm
Yes.
so excited about this event. This event is really dear to my heart because I really want people to really live in live their life authentically, full of purpose.
Yep.
Because once you tap into your gifting and you get a glimpse of what God has for you,
Mm.
your whole mindset shifts because man. And when you finally, it's like when you start operating your gift, right? When I started just doing cakes, right? I just did it because the cake was lopsided. The first cake I made was lopsided at 10, but I'm like, oh, this is good. Next, I started selling at church. I started selling stuff. Um, in my book bag, I had the backpack of brownies. I never thought the backpack of brownies I was selling would lead me to travel the world sharing my gift. I never thought that me just deciding to be obedient to what God was saying was to start a business with just having cupcakes and pies and brownies
Mm-hmm.
would lead me to be around so many dope people and to develop so many great relationships with people that these clients are like my family now. Like it's just so much you get from being an entrepreneur. So I would really advise you to come. It's bossup.today. Now you can put that back in the chat again too. Bossup.today.
I did.
If you go on Boss Up today, you get all the information. But I'm so serious. If you're really looking for an opportunity for exposure to really be around some like-minded individual, like we're working so hard to put this conference together, but we want to see people win. Like I think that's the thing about what we do. Like no amount of money will compare to me being able to help somebody get to the next level with their business, to live authentic.
Mm-hmm.
There's some people who are literally dying on the inside, but they're waiting for you to step into your purpose for them to
Mm-hmm.
really operate in their gift. So like once you
Wow.
operate in your gift, like there are some people you're assigned to. So the
Yeah.
longer you
Yeah.
wait to go into your purpose, the longer
Come
the
on.
longer someone has to wait to really live the life they're supposed to live. Some people are literally thinking about committing suicide, waiting
Come
on you
on.
to really step into your purpose. And once you step into it, you're gonna have the right words to say to that person that will get them to change their whole life. So you want to be at this conference.
You
I'm really
do.
passionate about it. It's also a payment link you can do to actually pay online in installments. So thank you, Elder. Oh, there's also a virtual. There's a virtual aspect. A general mission VIP is where we have a VIP luncheon. It's gonna be dope, fam.
It's gonna be dope.
Natalie's coming from she's gonna
Augusta, Georgia.
we all come from the area, so it's gonna be dope. Thank you so much, Elder Feature Two. She is the super queen of putting stuff together. She's really really big in the church world and just really helping people, give highlighting people who are doing well in the kingdom. She's always promoting people. So I appreciate you, Elder too. So guys, until next week, we hope that you are blessed, you are prosperous, you tap into your gifts. If you want to connect with us, click the link in our bio. Anything else, Natalie? Because usually I usually end it, but what else you got,
No,
fam?
you good, sir.
I got
That's it.
a week full of purpose and clarity. All right.